EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Chicago Bears. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Number 81 on the return.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Shakedown. It's the shakedown, baby. Yeah.
From the gun, here's Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Jonathan Bullard able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line.
Hey. 4 down.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Sit up. 180.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
try to run for it with Howard. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
This will be fielded at the 17. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And the Colts coming out now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down. Just shy of midfield. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now, after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw. Run. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Luck. Hearns brings it in. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
Let's go.
Hey, alert 3. Quick.
A shotgun snap for Luck. Looking deep for Hilton. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Bell. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving.
Oh, yeah!
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Gone right.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And that play's not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. This Bears defense trying to hold on. This is 3rd and goal.
3 down.
Here's Bell. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Now, this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Hey, 4 down.
Trubisky will throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Motion, watch defense.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Trubisky trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Matthias Farley. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now Luck. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Khalil Mack coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Right, 675.
You got 4.
Here's Luck. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Luck. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right, tight right.
Sit up. 180.
4 down, even.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Got 4 down. Check this.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
2 on the play.
Oh, yeah!
Number 24 gets the ball.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Trubisky with the give to Howard. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Sit up. 180. We're go. Let's go.
On the handoff, this is Howard. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Defense calls a timeout.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And Parkey's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
12.
4 down.
Check up. 290. 12. Middle.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down.
180.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. He's picked off at his own 47. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
After the interception, it's Love. Goes underneath for Bell. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Rolling, we're rolling. 12, 12, 12.
Tight end right, tight end right.
59.
You got 4.
12, 12, 12.
Bang, bang, bang.
1, 6, 3.
Love. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12.
Let it roll, let it roll, let it roll.
Luck now to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Single, got a single in the slot.
12, 12. Middle, middle, middle. Color, color. Check up.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5.
Check up. Rip, 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 rip.
Throwing again is Locke.
Rush in.
Caught left side by Hilton. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal?
Check, check.
59. Shift, bust the shift. Check up.
Again, Locke. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And Gold is able to put it through. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Red, red, up.
Even. 4 down. Even.
Red, red, up.
Shift. Big Ed.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Strong right.
Up. 180.
Trubisky to throw on second. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a gain of 4. And they're going to face a third down.
Here comes the boom. I see you, boy. I see you.
Let's go, let's go. Come on, gotta go, gotta go.
Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Watch 10, watch 10. Come on, watch 10, watch 10. Here we go.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Finding Gabriel, complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Blue, blue.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And incomplete on the deep ball. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
4 down, 4 down.
Set up.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. Throw left side, complete. It's Burton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Tight end's right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cohen. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Trubisky now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
4 down, 4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Blue, blue.
Hey, 4 down.
Again to Howard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Lock in, lock in.
Now Trubisky. The catch made by Miller. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11.
4 down.
They pitch out to Howard. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
You got 4.
180.
On second down, Trubisky. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Trubisky. Buying time, and he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Terrell Basham in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me, partner.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you're thinking a 14-play drive, you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down. Well, someone wasn't very happy about that game being tied up. They came right back at them with a big-time return. They want to get back out in front as fast as possible.
Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Now Luck. Ebron caught left side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Section 25, 22, you just won 3.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
On.
Throwing his Luck. The sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
4 down. Check.
Key right.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Alert. 3 down.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Right, 90. Color. Alert 3.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And he's got it to Hearns. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Bell. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They come out here in the eye. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
12. Collar.
Out of the gun, Luck. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Eric Ebron, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are in for 6.
3 weeks, 3 touchdowns. It's obvious they've looked his way early and often in the red zone this year, and that's usually a pretty good place to find a tight end in the NFL.
Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gold now out to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Bears on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. A Chicago 1st down, the former Jag Allen Robinson on the catch from Trubisky.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves them from a 3 and out. Trubisky now, 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10.
Hey, you got it. 18.
Now it's Trubisky. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Hey. We got 4.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. You got three.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 45. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Check four. Key right. Hold on.
After the interception, it's Love. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Come on, boys, come on.
From the gun, here's Love. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Tight right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On 3rd down, here's Bell. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And Gold is able to put it through, and that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. Now Trubisky to throw. He leaves this one for Howard. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate Big plays for an offense.
Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
4 down.
Here's Trubisky. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Throwing here, Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep playing. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
It's caught. It's Miller. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Colts, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
It's time to punch one of two tickets to the Super Bowl. It's the coach, and this is the Madden Ultimate Team Playoffs. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the Madden Legends and the New Orleans Saints.
Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from the Superdome. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On first and 10, it's Marino. Underneath to Davis. He finds an opening past the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. A good pickup there, a 22. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season opener opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception throw.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down, Williams. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on second and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take him the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it?
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Paper.
Now a pitch out to Williams. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On the toss, here's Williams. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll go as a 9-yard loss on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. McManus able to put. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy's stone-faced wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, 3rd quarter.
The conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Oh, good footwork on the spin. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the 1st down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up the 1st down.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Williams. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
When you think about big-time middle linebackers, you do think about the strength and the force that they play with, as we just saw there from Brian Urlacher. But what an athlete. Remember, he was a safety in college at the University of New York.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Now a toss left side. It's Williams. It's a gain of 6. Moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they're going to winning this game.
Pastor, you said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And they pick up the 1st down there with a gain of 4.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Now carry number 20 in the game. Here's Williams. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Watch tight end. Tight right.
Now they'll toss it out right to Williams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now they'll run it on the toss. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
White 20. White 90.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. And I know you with every carry, especially.
The NFL playoffs are upon us. It's the coach in Orlando, and you're tuned in to Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
We got 4.
That's it. 180.
On 1st down, it's Newton. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Sit. 180.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, This is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They'll run for the first time with Ricky Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run. On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out.
3 down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific, because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. You know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Ricky Williams taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. McManus's point after is good. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Here's Newton. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. From the gun, here's Newton. And that is incomplete. Marshawn Lattimore right there on the coverage. He was draped all over it.
certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision. Now Sanders. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles? Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. Got a mistake there. It's a foot race. The 40. The 30. And they work this well upfield across the 45. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you. Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off. Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down. Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. This will be taken in at the 1. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead. And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game. The adjustment to the adjustment. Without a doubt. Show him one thing, he'll do something else. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down. Now Williams. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill. Williams. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game. Tackle made by Thomas Davis. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain. What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz? The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now they'll run it on the toss. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along? Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it? I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Hey, let's go!
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now they'll run it on the toss. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Pushes him over. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a solid run down inside the 30. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
We got 3. We got 3.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
Brandon, I can just tell you from experience, there's nothing like pitching a shutout on defense, but even more so when it's a tight game. I mean, when every defensive play is crucial and you don't give up any points, boy, they're going to feel awfully good about themselves after this one.
Yeah, exactly. The offense wasn't humming, but, hey, all they needed was you can't score 1 point. All they needed was 2 points. Well, you can't score 2 points on offense. All they needed was at least 3. They got what they needed.